officially permitted by the governor. So help me God. Oh, hold on. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance.
The time has come to hold the bull by the horn and let justice prevail. As panel members, we promise to be guided by professional standards and hope that we will collectively be able to chart a new course that will guarantee the safety of the life of the Nigerian citizen as far as the construction industry is concerned.
You have all of the instrumentality of office, of a government official to do whatever it is you want to do, and do it without fear or favor. To someone, to ask, to request, to charge, to engage anybody that you so wish to appear before you and to seek information and clearance as into what will help you achieve unbiased, transparent recommendation. Justice will be done, and people that are found culpable will not only be sanctioned, but learning and lessons coming out from this will be used to guide our dealings going forward.
Well, that's the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu speaking there. Now, Tunde, the members of the panel, we understand, announced by the governor, are all from the private sector, and the team has 30 days to submit its report. What do you make of this?
Well, I think, first of all, I still believe that a public inquiry would have been better than a panel. A public inquiry will go back into the history of such incidences in Nigeria, look at our system, because it's a systemic failure that has happened. It is not just an individual. Because if the system is okay, like people talk about institution, no individual, because we have seen we have written a lot of things, we have read a lot of things that happened before that thing happened. So a public inquiry will embolden people to come out and tell us what has happened in the past, not only about this thing. So when the public inquiry is there, people will be bold enough to come out. Having said that, I just believe that it is a charge, it's a test for this government to show that the report of that inquiry will not, as usual, be swept under the carpet. The governor did promise that it will not be so, but let us also hope that. But my own take from it is that if we could take somebody to subvert the system, and you know, there are conflicting reports either from the Excellency, the Deputy Governor said indeed 31 floor was approved, and initially the general manager of the agency said it was 15 that was approved, and he has been asked to stop. So let us know, let the inquiry show us what really happened there. Now, number two is the fact that you know that Cocoa House was the first tallest building in Nigeria that was built probably over 60 years ago. That house experienced a fire, in fact, about 2 decades ago. The place is still standing. People have been using it probably before I was born, and that place is still standing. Yes, this one is under construction. It came down where it is here to be finished. It shows that a lot of things is wrong with our system. Because if the system is okay, nobody can buy or bribe or subvert the system. So let the inquiry go down into the nitty-gritty of the whole thing, so that it can serve as a lesson and as a paper presented by the government. One man came out, I think it was the chairman of the Building Society of Nigeria, something that as far back as 1986, a consortium of all the groups, the architects, the quantity surveyor came out to draft a legislation, a bill for Nigeria to be accepted as the code for building. The thing was not approved until probably 2005. That was 20 years after the thing has gathered dust. So the challenge for the governor is that to do things in a different way. Yes, it is so easy to talk, to say people come and talk. But let him put everything in place that he has said to make sure that the system is allowed to work. No file must disappear. Nobody must be killed in the process of this thing, because this is a system or a probe that required people that have sunk their millions. I learned that some people have already even paid for that particular place. So let us be thorough. Let us do something that will leave a legacy for generations to come. Let us farm up the system from the building, from the approval, from the conception, and for the quality control. And you know what? Lagos State government even set up, during the regime of our Governor Babatunde Fashola and Ambode, they even set up a material testing laboratory to test the quality of your either iron rod that is supposed to be 12, the contractor will come and supply 10.5. That will affect the building. The cement that you are going to use, the sand that you are going to use, these are quality control because you can put it on paper. But how are we ensuring that the quality is controlled? Because it is more or less of quality control. So having said all these things, let the governor summon enough courage to close his eyes and publish that report.
Right.
30 days, he gave them 30 days from today, which means by December 4, they have to conclude their report. By January or February, let the report come out and let proper legislation be made to change our system, to reorientate officials that will be in charge of this thing. And if you can do this thing, you will have gone a long way in correcting the anomaly. We have never had it like this, 38 bodies. You can imagine how many families that have been affected.
And traumatized with this incident. Shola, what do you make of this arrangement and how confident are you about this new panel?
What I know is that looking at the way he's handled things in the past, his response to the COVID something, the governor is a thorough human being. I can see sincerity. And now he must be a man of sorrow because these are his co-citizens. You know, nobody planned for this kind of thing to happen, and you can start see the body count is mounting every day. Anybody would be very sad about this, not to mention the chief executive of the state. Now, he has a very, very strong situation in his hands, and he has to handle it to the best of his ability. He has set up a probe panel. I do not want it to be another white paper fantasy where white paper will be released, eventually it comes to nothing. He must make sure there is enough teeth given to this probe panel to be able to back and bite. We need to get to the root. It's becoming, too frequent. Just a day after this one, I learned there was another one that happened. It shows that there is something wrong with the system. You have to go beyond even whoever is being considered the culprit. Those who aided and abetted or whatever, everybody must be probed. You have to go to the process that led to what we're having. You have to get to the root of what kind of material, what kind of quality control was put in place. Were there corners being cut by people? Was there anything done that should not have been done? I learned there was a time when certain warnings were given. This place was sealed some times ago. Who reopened that place? Who allowed this process to go on even despite the fears? People are dead now. Families are in sorrows. But not only that, there is the fear. You're talking of the real estate industry in Lagos, the effect of this on that, the economy of Lagos, the families that are losing breadwinners, a young lady with dreams about the future going into that place and then getting her life cut short, somebody trying to travel abroad with dreams and dreams only to have the dream truncated right away. A lot of evil things happening because of this one collapse of a building. But something caused it. There is a root to this. You have to get to the root. His Excellency must make sure that, we've been hearing a lot of probes and probes upon probes to the extent that people are getting tired. They will just say, is it not another probe? But I think something should come out of this. Let us know. I love what the chairman of the panel said, that they are ready to hold the bull by the horn. Not only hold the bull by the horn, make sure that you ensure that that bull is not taken to the China shop. Ensure that we have a very concrete result. We'll be having building collapses and it's getting to more. You just make reference to Cocoa House. I was there recently and I wondered, by the kind of strength, something built several decades ago, what system made that possible? What were the things being done by the people of the past, the people in the Ministry of Housing or whatever, those who control the way buildings are put up in Lagos State? What are those things being done that are not being done now? We need to go back to the drawing board and make sure that we get people who are really patriotic enough to handle things like this. People who are not carried away by the greed, the pecuniary things that will make you cut corners because of money, not thinking about the life of people. Imagine people with dreams, people who had ambition, and then you cut their life short. You destroy the family. I don't even know how they're going to get closure, because some people have not even been found out under the rubbles. So there is a lot of tragic stories surrounding this, and to be able to mitigate the tragedy, the governor must take a very bold step, and I hope what he has said, he will be able to carry it through. Yes.
Indeed, well said. Now, Tunde, talking about the families, we understand that some are still in search of their loved ones, and the state government has set up a medical base and information desk at the site of the building collapse. Now, to offer, well, information on their identities so far. Now, this, to an extent, can assuage, more or less, the grief of the families, don't you think?
Well, I think, yes, but like I said, I mentioned the issue of the system. There are a lot of people that will have left their homes for that particular place without telling their family. So that gives you the problem of actually locating them. So that is the essence where we say that communication is very, very important in any system. And for a project of this magnitude, there must be somebody to be held responsible, either the chief contractor or the head of the main contractor that is handling that place. You must be able to know how many people have come into site one day and those people who are leaving. Without taking a census of those people coming into site, you cannot know actually how many people are involved. It could take months for us to know. Like, because of the factor I said, a lot of people have left their home. A lot of people were drafted onto that site that very day. A lot of people were just passing by, and they asked them, by the manner the place is in, to come and join. So the family cannot even begin to trace their movement. So the most important thing is that this society is a society that we must use data, we must use communication, and we must have a profile everybody that's in this society, so that people can know where you are at any point in time. Because as it is now, if nobody can come out and say how many workers do come there every day to work, it will not be difficult for you. You only rely on probability of the possibility of the evacuation team to be able to bring out almost everybody inside that place. Until the task is finished, we cannot say specifically, because of our system, how many people are involved in that particular place. So I think it's also, like I said, it's a lesson for us to be thorough. There should be a code for all those other contractors, building contractors, architects, manning strategic buildings like this to be used every day. For instance, in banks now, it is very possible for bank to know how many people has come out every day, to go into the bank and has come out every day, by the paper people feed, by a lot of things. So let us do things like this, like that, so that, you know, do you know that even people traveling by air, some people, I don't know whether they have changed now, they will just enter aircraft, there won't be manifest. People traveling between Lagos and Ibadan in any commercial bus, I know they use it, they must write manifest, so that you begin to know how many people have traveled. Without manifest, we cannot get to the root of this thing. But if people have already gone there without taking a census of those people who work there every day, we only rely on probability. That is, if the excavators and rescue team are ready to get to the last foundation. The ground zero. Because ground zero, how do you call it? To know those people who are trapped inside. Right. Or whether that, you know, Lagos State the terrain is different from Ibadan. Right. Or it's different from Abuja. So you don't even know to what depth this building has sunk because of the weight of theirs. Because what it shows is that the depth, the foundation is wrong. And when the foundation is wrong, the building can collapse. And so far, we understand official figures say 32 bodies have been recovered from the building collapse, as against 38 earlier reported.